Hey everyone, welcome to KTAL News Now. I'm your host Anthony Mocklin. I hope you had a great weekend. Today we are going to recap that weekend and the events that happened, as well as looking a little to the week ahead. Last week, Governor Jeff Landry and U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. celebrated a signing of two bills meant to make our state healthier. The two gathered along with a crowd at Pennington Biomedical Research Center in Hammond to sign the bills. One is Senate Bill 14, or the Make America Healthy Again bill, which bans certain dyes and preservatives in school food and requires nutrition education for doctors. The second bill, the Ivermectin Access Bill, allows adults to purchase ivermectin from pharmacists without a prescription. In addition to the bill's signings, Governor Landry submitted a formal waiver requesting the formal government to reform Louisiana's SNAP program, prohibiting the use of benefits on sugary sodas, candies, and processed junk foods.
As the debate continues in Washington over Medicaid changes, we must remember that a healthy, independent population reduces reliance on Medicaid, freeing us from government dependence. Today marks the beginning of a healthy transformation for Louisiana.
Kennedy says he supports the bills because he feels they are needed to help curb the high rates of disease we're seeing in the United States, and especially in Louisiana, which ultimately costs taxpayers more and more each year. But not everyone in Louisiana was excited to see the secretary. Protesters gathered outside the research center, calling Kennedy's policies dangerous. One protester said the decision to put anti-vaxxers into positions of power will add to the confusion on vaccines, making it hard for parents to decide what's best for their children. Shreveport Mayor Tom Arsenault's block-by-block initiative continued this weekend. With neighborhoods that have been identified for a block-by-block cleanup, the Highland neighborhood is the latest. John Paul Young is the CATO commissioner for Highland, and he was out with other volunteers cleaning up this weekend.
Today, citizens are here to pick up litter. Property Standards is here to find blight, identify it so that it can be addressed and hopefully improved in cooperation with the city and the parish. And Animal Control is here to check for animal violations, which are a problem in this neighborhood.
It's not just cleaning up. Police go out the week before, talk to residents, and pass out information about the event. Residents can let police know if they want a one-on-one with city officials during the event.
We'll be going door to door to talk to people and see what they think their needs are in the Highland neighborhood in terms of blight reduction and redevelopment.
Officials say it's important to speak to residents one-on-one because they know their neighborhoods.
This is an opportunity that gives us time to speak face-to-face with the resident that live here day in and day out and understand what's going on in their neighborhood a lot better than we do, and give us great ideas and from their perspective what government can do to improve the conditions in their neighborhoods.
This is just the beginning of the block-by-block program.
We're on the front end of it, and it lets the people know, it gives the people information that we're handing out of what's to come.
Speaking of Louisiana, 12 new members were inducted into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame this weekend. We covered Vicki Johnson on Feel Good Friday last week, but LSU figures former tackle Andrew Whitworth and former coach Nick Saban were also inducted.
The ride that LSU fans have been on for the last 20-plus years is directly related to Nick Saban being the head coach of the LSU football.
Over 25 years after his first year as head coach, Nick Saban is officially a member of the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. The former LSU coach put LSU football on the map, with the Tigers winning 3 national titles since his reign.
The standard he set, and we set with it. And it took the players doing it, the coaches, and everyone that poured into this program. But by all means, it was Nick Saban who started it and started that vision and that standard. And the players carried it on, and the coaches after him kept holding it up. And so I think we all realize his impact. And so really special to me to think about who he was and the vision he had, and to see it all come into life for LSU sports.
For Saban, it was all possible through something as simple as support.
This was the first job that I ever had where the people actually trusted and respected the process of what we were going to try to do to win. And I think, we took over a 3-8 program and everybody was committed to it. And I certainly hope that I did my part to make everybody proud of, the kind of team that we were able to develop and won a championship.
And no one has been more proud than his players, including fellow inductee Andrew Whitworth.
Told people what we were going to do. We were going to go to LSU and we were going to win a national championship. And I'll never forget, that opportunity that we, sure enough, 2.5 years later, we're there and we did it. And so, when you do that with somebody and you have a vision and both of you pour into it and you accomplish it, you're forever bonded in that. And so it was great to have a little bit of reflection time with him of those days.
As with many behind-the-scenes decisions in the Saban family, the Tigers can thank Miss Terry for coming down to Baton Rouge and interviewing for Saban.
Miss Terry goes and looks at the facilities in the stadium and all that. So I called her up on the phone and I said, well, what do you think? And she said, they don't have very good facilities. The coaches' offices are in the bank building, so they're not very good. They don't have an academic center. You got to get on a bus and ride across the railroad tracks to get to practice. But she said, I went in the weight room. They got some good-looking players.
As painful as it may be for LSU fans to see that, and knowing, what could have been as he went on to win multiple championships with Alabama, he still did, in fact, put them on the map. I know that I'm an alum from LSU as well as my dad, and he graduated in the 90s, and I'm pretty sure they didn't win more than 5 games in any year that he was there. So before Saban got there, it was a very, very abysmal time to be an LSU football fan. It was mainly the basketball team that was super popular and winning all the time with Shaquille O'Neal and making all types of NCAA tournament runs. So it's nice to see, Saban get at least some recognition for lifting LSU up and giving them the opportunity to kind of recruit better and become a national powerhouse in terms of football. With things happening on KTAL Lake, 2 birds had a second chance at life in the wild. They were cared for months by Last Chance Forever Birds of Prey Conservancy. On Saturday, attorney Marshall Jones said his family helped release a red-tailed hawk and a bald eagle back into the wild along a portion of KTAL Lake in Texas. The Conservancy receives an upward of 240 injured birds each year, and with each one, they take the time to give the bird a new lease on life.
I know by the time that I've released this bird, it's been tested 3 times to capture live prey. It has also been tested multiple times for its health and strength. They literally have to be put on the ground, walk away from them. They've got to fly like they're going to fly over the tops of the trees. So we put a line on them and let them fly great distances. So I know we've given them the very best chance of surviving once they leave here.
The red-tailed hawk was rehabbed for 5 months, while the bald eagle was rehabbed for 7. Jones and his family have sponsored the Conservancy's efforts on KTAL Lake for a decade. July 4th is this weekend, and for those who are traveling or plan to have a fireworks show, the Shreveport Police Department has released information that would be vital to staying safe this weekend. In Shreveport, you can shoot fireworks now from noon until 10 p.m., but bottle rockets and skyrockets are not allowed to be sold or shot in Shreveport, but police are urging everyone to please follow the law.
Under no circumstances is discharging a firearm on the 4th of July legal in the city limits of Shreveport. There are fireworks ordinances that are passed that allow you to shoot fireworks during the 4th of July holiday, and we're going to obviously encourage individuals to celebrate the freedom of our nation. However, you cannot do so with a firearm shooting it into the air into the air of Shreveport.
Now police say they cannot stress enough when a gun is fired into the air, what goes up must come down, and someone could be injured or killed by a falling bullet. So please be safe. And the Shreveport Police Department is also ramping up efforts to keep drunk drivers off the roads ahead of the 4th of July. Officers say they're launching a DWI saturation patrol, hoping to stop tragedy before it starts.
And we're going to be out looking for that, and our DWI officers have led the state for the past 2 years in DWI arrest. So don't test them, They will be out there, and unfortunately, if you're impaired and you're drinking and driving, there's a good opportunity that you're going to meet them.
SPD will have more officers working solely to stop impaired drivers before they cause harm. Police say their message is simple: don't drive impaired. And for those that do have travel plans this weekend, please, under any circumstances, find someone to have a designated driver, and please do not get behind the wheel of a vehicle while impaired. I know it's a very celebratory time and things can get out of hand and at a moment's notice, but just please be careful. Think of your loved ones. Think of the people around you, even people you don't know. There are so many people that are affected by drunk drivers each year, so please be safe. And you can catch us on KTAL News now every day, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll maybe cover some tech tips with Tech Tuesday. But for now, I'm Anthony Mocklin, and thank you for joining us.